another episode ready to go. They're gonna talk about the good and the trash and anything in between. Cherishing make-believe, get ready for Halloween. It's the horror show. I know you missed those guys. Tune in and find out what's on their list tonight. They butcher and dissect, take apart and mutilate. Listen to your two favorite brainiacs communicate. It's the horror show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Show. Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and horror events. Shit, I fucked.
No, you missed a word there.
I fucked myself up because I was like, over the weekend I thought of a way to change it to include cult movies, and I tried to do it ad lib, and then it failed, and then I was like, what do I say? That was my bad. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
So we did an Instagram live, and now I'm drunk. We did like an hour-long Instagram live. So this should be fun. But listen, man, we're talking about Pinocchio's revenge.
How else are you gonna get through this? Somebody said, as I joined the Instagram live because I was helping my kids, which is why like the delay in the recording. So you hopped on. And by helping, I mean I was watching you on Instagram Live. But somebody said Pinocchio's Revenge is the perfect horror show movie. I could not disagree more.
Joe, I agree with that statement. And then did you see Amato's statement about Pinocchio's Revenge? He was like, finally, I've been begging Joe to watch this for years.
Dude, he watched it like 2 months ago on his own accord.
Dude, this is the worst kind of movie to do. Okay, so we talked about this when we brought up Pinocchio's Revenge, but we did Rumpelstiltskin, right? Rumpelstiltskin's like, that's a fucking horror show movie, right? That's
perfect. But yeah, because he fucking moves. Dude, this Pinocchio moves so little. I mean, at the end, I'm already getting flustered because he moves like that elf in that shitty Grizzly Adams movie. Like he's just propped in corners, and at the end he actually moves and like his features move, and I'm like, why the fuck? He had this ability the whole time. Why was that not utilized?
Dude, it is 100%, and it's the same thing with his mouth moving. They had so little money, they were like, all right, we got to pick our battles on this one. Yeah. So it randomly in the middle. So the whole movie, his mouth doesn't move when he speaks. And for one scene in the middle of the movie, his fucking mouth moves. And I was so excited. And I was like, okay, maybe we're going to get there. But then it stops after that.
It stops, and then the movie pretty much ends after that. Dude, they had the movie's about Pinocchio, and they had Pinocchio's nose grow once, and it was via shadow. Which, by the way, you were looking at him dead on, so you could have just had the nose grow. But instead, we watched the shadow behind the nose grow.
Yeah, that scene, I've never laughed so hard at a scene. First of all, because it's just clearly some guy turning the puppet's body. It's just like Elves, where it was just a statue that they kind of moved around. And that was the same thing with Pinocchio in this. Which, by the way, it's not Pinocchio. Right? So in Rumpelstiltskin, that's Rumpelstiltskin, right? No, Rumpelstiltskin was the girl, right? Or is Rumpelstiltskin the demon?
He's the guy. The thing. Yeah.
The thing, yeah.
Uncle Rumpel, you know?
The imp. So that is Rumpelstiltskin, right? He's like, oh, I've been transported from medieval time into this world.
Yeah.
Pinocchio, this is not Pinocchio.
No. Which it would have been awesome if, like,
right,
because it's in that universe.
Because it's called Pinocchio's Revenge. Give us fucking Pinocchio. Instead, it's something else. It's just a doll that resembles Pinocchio.
Dude, this movie had the Kevin Tenney bingo card. Like, we should make Kevin Tenney bingos. Dude, it starts with a cop, right?
Yep.
Has a gratuitous nudity in a shower scene.
Yeah.
It is just a rehashing of a movie that Kevin Tenney saw that he was like, oh, wait, I want to do this. Because it was literally just the plot of Child's Play.
Yes, 100%. And then, so when I started it, my girlfriend said the best joke. And honestly, I was like, thank you, because this is my favorite joke of all time. Which is, she said, do you think Pinocchio's going to be in this? And I was like, well, yeah, of course. Like, it's Pinocchio's revenge. And she's like, yeah, but there were no witches in Witchboard. And I was like, holy shit. Imagine if there's no Pinocchio in this. And it's just about a Ouija board again. He just called it fucking Pinocchio's revenge. And then the fun fact, Pinocchio's in it, but there's really no revenge. The first two...
Yeah, what was his revenge?
Joe, this movie... I know we've said this a lot. And by the way, I thought about this before I was drunk. I thought about this before I was drunk. This movie might be one of the worst movies we've ever watched.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with that one, but it's bad.
Joe, nothing is explained in this, and the story, there is no story in this movie. There's no story. You get this whole like buildup of, by the way, the dialogue in this, it's all dialogue. It's all dialogue, including a meeting with a priest, as if this is like the fucking Exorcist. And we give a shit about what these people are saying. There are multiple meetings with a priest. I'm surprised they didn't talk about the fucking, what's it called? Dynamic fucking consumption.
Progressive entrapment. Yeah.
Progressive entrapment. I thought for sure the priest was going to be like, have you ever heard of progressive entrapment? Which they get really fucking close to talking about. Because they start talking about demons. And I was like, please, for the love of God, bring this around to progressive entrapment. Which is essentially, well, we'll talk about it. But man.
He uses the ghost POV in this too. Like, we really should make a fucking bingo card for
this guy.
That nobody would ever use because nobody would ever watch his movies. But.
Well, first of all, this movie was impossible to find. We had to splice together YouTube clips to make this. We saw the full movie, sort of-ish, because somebody had edited out all the nudity for YouTube guidelines. So during the shower scene, it just gets like super choppy, like 1996 internet.
I hunted it down, and I have no clue why, but I was able to watch that scene unedited.
Oh, well, how was it?
While my wife was sitting next to me, and she's like, "Really? That's what you just searched for?" I wanted to see.
Hey, I don't blame you, because honestly, it was probably the best scene in the movie. And I'm not a guy that seeks out nudity in a film. Like, oh, this makes it so much better. But straight up, it would have made the movie at least watchable. At least fucking watchable.
Well, the fact that of all his movies, he shows full frontal in Pinocchio's Revenge, which primarily focuses around a little girl and her doll. It's fucking ridiculous.
Joe, there's so much to say. All right, but there's so little to say also. So Wikipedia... again, I believe Tenny is writing these because this is I believe this is categorized as a psychological thriller. Never heard anything so stupid in my whole life.
Oh, I just pulled it up. He calls it a slasher film.
Oh, good for him. It's not.
Does anybody even get killed in this movie?
Joe, the first two fucking kills. So the first kill, and I mean, we'll get to it. The first kill, I was like, man, that's kind of fucked up if he did that. Like. And then they go to get the girl, and they're like, "Oh, she's fine." I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Oh, yeah. At the school you talked?
Yes. Why?
Yeah, I remember that.
Why did that?
I remember that. Obviously, I remember that because we're about to talk about that. But I remember having that reaction. Like my hand was like almost over my mouth. Like, wait, they really just did this? And then she just pops out. And like, what?
Why am I watching this? It's fucking pointless. Pinocchio gets zero revenge in this movie. P.S. What's he getting revenge for? Does anyone even know? No. Not explained.
It has to do with that Vincent Goddard, right?
All right, let's talk about it because I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you straight up, there's no fucking reason for this to fucking happen. All right, so we start off with the title card, and it says Tampa, Florida, 1996, as if this is an exotic locale or something. They could have just said 2 years earlier. Tampa, Florida. And that, it doesn't matter where we are. It does not matter. Also, I love that the title card also said a Kevin S. Tenney film. Oh, thank goodness. Buckle up. So, we see a shadowy figure bearing something. We see a cop driving by in the rain. He almost crashes into this, like, old-timey car, even though it's 1996. It's a 50s car. And we cut to this this figure bearing something, and he is bearing a real child, which is pretty alarming. Pretty alarming, pretty intense. You know, the opening scene, you have hope. There's some hope.
You do have hope. And also, I'm sorry, but I wanted to point out the cover is a picture of Pinocchio like screaming and a girl running. So you're under the impression that he's going to be doing something. Doing
anything.
Yeah.
Well, the cop calls in the license plate. He figures out the car belongs to a Vincent Gatto. So he starts looking around. He finds a bloody blanket in the car. And then they make this super dramatic scene where the cop steps over this chain link. It's not a chain link fence. It's a piece of chain, like at a park, like at a national park or a state park. I shouldn't say national park. At a state park where they just have like the chain link fence going from pole to pole. It just says closed. So the cop steps over it and they're like, dun, dun, dun. First of all, it's a cop. He's allowed to do that. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? He confronts Gatto. So, I don't understand this scene. So, Gatto just finished burying the boy. This... I thought questions were going to be answered later and nothing is ever answered. So, dude, I took notes. I took a ton of notes on this movie, which is not... I don't usually take a ton of notes. But it's because I didn't know what was pertinent to the story or not. And halfway through the movie, I still had no idea. Shit was happening, and I was like, well, is this going to pay off eventually? And it never did.
Well, my impression, I could be way off base, but I thought, so he buries his son, and then obviously gets caught, and he's arrested, and he's on trial, and then we meet the character who's a lawyer, and she believes he's innocent, and he's covering up, like, the real killer, who's Pinocchio.
All right, so here's... okay, so, wait, let's talk about this. So... the cops show up, and then it cuts, and then it fast forwards to daytime. And they're wheeling a body into an ambulance. So I thought the cop killed Gatto, but that's not the case.
Right.
So who's in the ambulance?
Is it not the kid?
Well, I thought the kid turned into Pinocchio.
No. Pinocchio killed that kid.
So then why did he bury Pinocchio?
He buried Pinocchio? I thought he buried the kid.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because in the scene, he's burying the kid. Right? And then you see them wheeling a body off. But the cops are still down there. And the main cop's like, dig, goddammit, dig. And then he goes, what the hell is that? What the hell we got here? And it's Pinocchio that's buried.
Well, they were both, because didn't he bury Pinocchio? Like, didn't the judge or the other attorney guy say that they found Pinocchio in the grave because he puts it in that lady's chair, which is, by the way, that can't be like protocol.
That's not evidence. That's not protocol. How about this woman letting her kid play with state's crime evidence? Fucking kidding me.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't know what happened in the beginning because A, it was dark and it was raining, so it just made it even harder to see. But so here's the thing: I thought he buried the son. That's who they dug up, and that's why he was arrested. But he also put the Pinocchio in the grave too.
Listen, man, I don't know what to tell you, but Pinocchio was under that fucking like tarp shit that he buried the kid in. Okay. And then at the end of the movie, we see like a very similar thing kind of happen. I don't know. Listen, this makes no fucking sense. Okay, if he buried Pinocchio, if we watched him burying Pinocchio and then the cops undig it and it's a real boy, we're done. This makes sense. Because that's what happens at the end. Spoilers. But that's not what happens here. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's just move on because obviously it makes no sense. He's just making a fucking terrible movie. We cut to present day where a news anchor is talking about a woodmaker and serial killer, Vincent Gatto.
I love it. The Geppetto origin.
Imagine if they just announced serial killers like that. I don't know what Ted Bundy's job was, but imagine if they were like IT support staff and serial killer Ted Bundy. Why the fuck are you announcing his fucking job description? Fucking makes no sense. So he's on trial. So, and they talk about how Gatto killed his own child. And then we proceed to go into the actual courtroom for the case. And his defense attorney uses the most illogical defense. And this was the hardest I think I've ever laughed in this movie. Well, I shouldn't say the hardest I've ever laughed. The hardest I laughed in this movie. So Gatto's lawyer is like, Judge, I have an alibi. And he's like, oh, really? Why didn't you bring this up? And he's like, it's for these other murders. And the other attorney's like, yeah, he's not being tried for those murders. And the judge is like, fucking agreed. And she's like, but if he didn't murder those people, did he murder this person? And the judge is like, oh my God, I never thought about that. Dude, imagine that being the fucking example. Just choosing two other random murders and being like, he didn't do those. It's like, he's not on trial for that. Well, what if he was? God,
Wouldn't every lawyer just use that?
Holy shit. Stop the execution. This lady's got a fucking point. Well, it doesn't work. But the judge does do like a touche, like, oh my God. It's fucking brutal.
Also, I just played the beginning clip to see if I can make any semblance of it, even though it was on silent. And I still think they dug up the kid, and then he dug up Pinocchio. But
so they just dug up.
No, I just rewatched it. I'm not sure.
No, I mean, I think that is what happened, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, people are gonna be like, "Well, no one's gonna email us."
Nobody knows.
No,
kidding me?
No one's watched this. No
Except
one wants
for
to
Mike.
watch this. Oh God. The defense attorney then goes and she starts looking at pictures of the dead kids, and which is weird because she's probably seen them a dozen times. This is the end of the fucking case. And she's like, oh my God, he's a monster. And then we meet Zoe, her daughter, who's like, oh my God, these pictures. Which is always good to do to your kid. Then she receives Pinocchio from her other lawyer friend.
Dude, the actor's name's Ron Canada, which really made me laugh.
Fucking dude, I have that note too because not to be confused with Ron Mexico, wasn't that Michael Vick's name?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes me laugh. Fucking went to trial for giving a girl herpes, knowingly giving a girl herpes. And he went under the name Ron Mexico.
Fucking Ron Canada? Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, imagine if he had watched Pinocchio's Revenge and just loved that name. It's like, oh my God, what a great alias. Oh my God. Ron Mexico. That's what he used that name for? Like a hotel room?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why he used a fake name. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it was something to do with STDs.
Something to do with it.
All I typed was Ron Mex, and the first suggested website was Michael Vick hit with sex suit. Yeah, claiming that Michael Vick gave her herpes, a Georgia woman suing the NFL star.
Good old Michael Vick. How did he get back into the NFL? That's crazy. That's fucking nuts. Anyway, so the defense attorney brings her evidence for the case, which is funny because, like, the whole movie could have been structured different to make more sense. And I feel like Kevin Tenney just went out of his way to make it make zero sense. Because this defense attorney gets the evidence and is like, this is 3 months late. Dude, the case is over.
Yeah, because he's being executed like the next day.
Right. And Ron Canada's like, well, there you go. Here's your doll. And she's like, she didn't even know the doll existed. What
yeah, and we saw in the opening scene they've been aware of it the entire time.
It just seems like so much effort to make this make no sense when they could have just said it during the trial. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, so that other shitty alibi. Like, bring that up.
Dude, hey, he was never here for these other murders. The defense attorney's general, the defense attorney's general, wait, not the attorney general. The defense attorney's name is Jennifer, I think. But IMDb had these credits listed in the most, they usually rank them in, like most screen time sort of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this was all over the place. She was at the very bottom of the fucking list. Made no fucking sense. So she goes to the jail to talk to Gatto. And he admits to killing his kid. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? You're right. He says here he buried the kid with Pinocchio because it was his favorite toy. But this is the first. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. But why wouldn't they have shown that when he was burying?
Well, each one of his movies has gotten more and more shitty and like poorly made. It makes no. It's like the opposite of how you're supposed to progress.
From the director of Witchboard, the smash hit Witchboard 2, comes a movie about Pinocchio without Pinocchio. And he buries him with Pinocchio because he loved it. But he refuses to let up that it's not him. He's like, I killed the kid, which, by the way, that's a fact. Because that's ultimately the end of the movie. We figure that out. So he's not wrong, and he's like, just let me die. And she's like, no. And ultimately he like screams and yells, but whatever. She thinks he's protecting somebody who's actually been killing these kids, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but whatever. By the way, the actings and the mannerisms in this are so over the top. Did you notice that?
Of course. And the kids are even worse.
Oh my God, dude. This girl won't stop smiling. Like the biggest shit-eating grin. I fucking hated her.
Dude,
but
she's a singer now, by the way. She had like a Billboard top hit.
That's so crazy. I read that. That's good for her, but she's awful in this. But her mom's more unbearable in this, dude.
Yeah, she's not the worst girl in this, by the way.
Oh my God, no, not at all. The mom's overacting and hand gestures for everything is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Oh my God, she's fucking like so dramatic. Well, Zoe, they tried to paint this that Zoe, the daughter, has a tormentor at school, but Zoe is a piece of shit.
Dude, yeah.
Zoe the bully.
Antagonizes all of them. Yeah.
Zoe is the fucking bully in this movie, and they're asking questions, and like the girl gets it wrong. And I forget the name she called her, but she's like, "Yeah, little Miss Know Nothing." I'm like, "What? Okay, that's fine. Like if you guys are beefing, whatever." But then later on, the girl like smacks the fucking her birthday invites out of her hand, and the girl's like, "You piece of shit!" Like, of course she's gonna do that. You fucking embarrass her in front of everyone, and then openly we're like, I didn't invite you to my fucking birthday party.
And then they get into a fight, which was one of the like most poorly choreographed and filmed scenes I've ever seen.
It was awful. And honestly pissed me off in this scene is I'm going to use air quotes here. The bully pushes Zoe to the ground, and there's like an upskirt shot of Zoe, who's 9, 10 maybe.
I did not pick up.
Dude. It legitimately pissed me off, and it happens a second time shortly after this scene. Like you see, dude, you see like little girl underwear. Like, dude, honestly, I was fucking mad. I was really fucking mad about it. Like irrationally. Well, maybe not irrationally. I don't know. Why the fuck is that happening?
Too irrational.
No, I was fucking furious about it. If I was that girl's parents, I would fucking kill Kevin Tenney. No matter how many blockbusters he's made. Anyway, that's that scene. We also meet Zoe. We also learn Zoe goes to therapy, and she talks about a man that has hurt her. We don't know what happens, but it sounds super fucking dramatic. And ultimately, I don't think that leads to anything. Like her dad's not around, but not in an abusive way. because her dad calls her basically every fucking night.
Yeah, and she's the one that doesn't want to talk to him.
Yeah,
even though the
like,
mom's
I don't want to
please.
talk to that piece of shit.
And the mom's always like, please, like pleading with her.
And that's not highlighted at all after this. So who the fuck knows what the fuck is happening?
No, they introduced the therapist to like to paint him as like her Dr. Loomis.
Dude,
He's
oh
always
my
like,
God.
she's a psychopath. Like, you don't know her true powers.
Dude, holy shit, Dr. Loomis. Dude, it's 100% what they're doing, and it's so bad. He's the shittiest Loomis ripoff of all time. Because he's just like, lock this girl up. Dude, the end is so fucking ridiculous. Yeah, and like you said, Zoe won't talk to her dad, and the mom's pissed off. And the mom's also like, ah, shit, I forgot about her birthday. Well, she'll be ungrounded by then. A lot of talking goes on here. Until we get to the execution. Hey, did we do an episode on Shocker?
Dude, I thought the same thing. I don't think so. I think we did. Because when I saw it, I was like, this reminds me of Shocker. And I thought about us talking about it. And I was like, I don't think we ever talked about Shocker. But we did, what was it called? House 3.
Oh, did we? And we didn't do Shocker? Yeah, dude, I think you're right. I don't think we did it.
Because Horror Show 3 has that electrocution scene. Or, no, House 3, but it's called The Horror Show.
Yes, and that's what I think I'm thinking of. Yeah, I don't think we did Shocker. We should probably put that on our list.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is it good? I don't even fucking know.
I mean, I don't think so. It's Wes Craven.
I just love electric chairs in movies because they're so bad. They just depict them so poorly because they're probably super boring to watch somebody get electrocuted. Because, it's just electricity. You can't see it. But in a movie like this one,
yeah, it's like
there's sparks flying everywhere.
Yeah, they're like somewhat humane, Like the first like jolt will knock you unconscious, and then the second one will kill you. Whereas in the movies, they last like 10 minutes, and people are screaming, like walking around,
screaming, shaking. Fucking
they rip their arms.
Eyes. Yeah. Dude, it's fucking...
They always rip their arms out of the restraint.
Yeah.
Stand up.
While there's a crowded room watching them. Oh, man, it's the best.
I cannot wait to find out that we did do Shocker.
I just searched. I didn't see it.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I didn't name it something stupid like Poo Poo Pee Pee Electric Chair Movie. Because sometimes I name these movies fucking awfully. Or name these episodes.
I don't know what it is lately, but like I cannot remember for shit what we've done and what we've talked about.
Did you hear me talking about that on the Instagram Live?
I don't think I was in there for that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have a super hard time remembering those now. And it's not, I don't know, it's just you do so many episodes. Which is funny.
We've been doing it for fucking half a decade. That's crazy.
I know, that is crazy. And you know what? You think about when you would meet a celebrity, and like when you're younger, and you probably are like, remember this? And they're like, sure. But you can tell they don't know, right? Now I understand it, because it's like they do it every fucking day.
Yeah. I agree.
So it's crazy. Anyway, so the electric chair, he's dead. That's it. That's the end of the story. And I thought something was going to happen there. I thought we'd maybe see, maybe his spirit. Who the fuck knows? Because we don't know anything about Pinocchio yet. We don't. It's ridiculous. So the attorney, the defense attorney, Jennifer, she goes to meet with a priest, which is weird. And very Kevin Tenney to make this way headier than it needs to be, right? Like, dude, that's another, put it on the bingo card of like cramming in like a serious horror movie into fucking Pinocchio's Revenge, trying to make it The Exorcist, like talking to a fucking priest. What the fuck is happening? It's insane. And it's not even her church. If it were her church, I'd say, okay, let's paint her as religious. That's fine. But she's like, yeah, I'm not much I stopped being a Catholic when I was a kid. And he's like, this isn't a Catholic church. So she doesn't even know what church she fucking walked into. By the way, the priest laughs at his own joke twice, and it was the fucking best. Because he's like, she calls it a Catholic church, and he's like, oh, no, it's Episcopalian. Sometimes I call that Catholic light. And he's like, ha ha ha. And then it cuts, and then he goes, ha ha ha. A second time at his own fucking shitty joke.
Oh, Kevin.
Classic Kevin Tenney. And then she takes the priest. She's like, "Are you getting? Do you want to get a cup of coffee?" And then we get a 10-minute scene of her talking to a priest about nothing. And
yeah,
it's fucking awful. So we're 30 minutes in, and Pinocchio has done nothing.
Pinocchio's just shown up in we saw him buried, and he sat in the lawyer's chair.
That's it. That's all we've seen so far, and the rest has been this psychological thriller.
Maybe he's not wrong.
About a girl.
There's just no thrills.
About a girl who hates somebody we don't know who. And a mom who's just way too overly concerned about her. The lawyer, her and the Ron Canada start talking about the case, and again, nothing happens. And then we go to the girl's birthday party, and fucking Jim from Witchboard's in it.
Yeah.
He's fucking back as the boyfriend named David.
Kevin takes care of his crew.
Dude, he does. Fucking Vincente's gonna be back too as a cop. Back in the fucking saddle, man. By the way, Pinocchio looks fucking yoked. He's got huge fucking biceps. He's not the skinny Pinocchio we all know and love. This boy is big. This is a big real boy.
Did you pick up on who played Pinocchio's double for when Pinocchio actually finally moves?
Joe, I did not have it in my notes, and I had totally forgot, but I saw it during last week's episode, and now you reminded me. It's Vern Troyer, right?
It is Vern Troyer. Fucking mini-me.
Oh, man, I should have recognized that fucking walk when he's fucking running across the street. The one time Pinocchio moves, by the way, guys, and it's a fucking shadow. So, and then, so it's the daughter's birthday party, and this fucking idiot boyfriend gives her Pinocchio as a gift. A serial, dude.
Which is state evidence.
State evidence of a fucking serial killer and belongs to a dead kid. Was buried with a dead kid. It was not washed. They don't wash evidence. You fucking kidding me?
Also, why did he have that?
So they actually tried to explain it later. And again, it's just so fucking convoluted, dude. Like, here's my thing. In Child's Play, right? Chucky, in the series, not necessarily the first one, Chucky would get to the point, right? Where the mom would be like, I don't remember that being here. And the kid being like, yay. And it's just like, oh, whatever. You know what I mean? They could have worked it in to where it was in the pile of gifts. Well, I guess they couldn't have because it's fucking awful. But anyway, the boyfriend says later on, he found it in her car. So he assumed it was a gift and gave it to her.
That's right. Okay. I guess you could apply the Child's Play theory to that. Like Pinocchio put himself there. So,
sort of. And then here's the other problem, though. She didn't even bring Pinocchio. See, here's where it could have worked. We find out for some reason way later in the movie, like at the fucking end of the movie, she's talking to the other attorney, Ron Canada, and she says, "Oh, real nice putting the Pinocchio in my car." And he's like, I didn't put him in your car. And she's like, oh, what? But so Pinocchio got himself in the car. He should have just like walked himself into the party, right? Because, and also, by the way, let's say your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, you have a wife. Let's say your wife grabs something from your car that you know is evidence of a murder and gives it to your kid for its birthday. Aren't you just going to leap up and fucking grab it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, that should have not, like, who the fuck? We're all
You would
in
just
big trouble
stop it.
now.
You would stop it right then. You would not be, you wouldn't even be like, I'm going to wait till after the party to talk to her. You'd be like, I'm going to fucking grab this shit and fucking drive it back to the fucking office because I'm going to go to
Completely
jail
correct.
for this.
Completely correct. Like, where did you get that? And then when he offered his explanation, be like, that's crazy, but whatever. This is getting out of my house right now.
Right, exactly. But instead, she's just like, okay, and just allows her to play with Pinocchio for most of the movie until the end when she's like, I'm taking this back to work. Oh, God.
She lets that go on for way too long because she's not just playing with it. She's fucking arguing with it like all night long.
That's so funny. That's so fucking funny. Even add that, like, even if you let the kid have it, and then you hear the kid in the bedroom being like, "No, Pinocchio, I'm not gonna do it." You'd be like, "All right, fucking enough. This fucking ends here."
Yeah.
Arguing with it all night. Oh man. David, the boyfriend, tells a scary story about Pinocchio, how he's bad and he steps on grasshoppers. And then they start having sex. We get a sex scene, which they're awful at. And then we get to watch Zoe listen to them fuck.
Dude, I'm glad you picked up on that because what was the point of that?
I have no idea. Just sitting there, and then like goes and hugs Pinocchio, and she's like, "I wish you were a real boy, so I wouldn't be all alone." Like, bitch, you just had like a rager of a fucking birthday party. You fucking kidding me? You're not fucking alone. I mean, you're listening to your parents fuck alone, but would you want your friends there? Would you want your brother there? Fuck no. No one wants to listen to that shit. Oh boy. We get the full frontal scene here with the naked babysitter, or I think she's an au pair. Not that it matters. I don't know why I had to differentiate that. It's literally the same fucking thing. Oh man, that would have been the highlight of the movie had it been left in, but it's not. It was chopped the fuck out. Oh boy. So the mom shows up. Jennifer shows up. She's got like a giant American Girl style doll, and the girl she ain't got time for that. She's just like, fuck this. I want Pinocchio. Yeah. And then that night we hear Pinocchio running around. We don't see it, but we hear his footsteps. So he's finally moving or doing anything, actually, for that matter. The next day, the mom goes onto the girl's bed and finds the American Girl doll murdered, which that's a stretch to say because it's a fucking toy.
Right.
But its eye has been ripped out and its chest has been opened as if it was stabbed. And I swear, there's like a little bit of blood in the wound. And the mom's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, who fucking cares? Oh, boy. Well, at school, the girl's bully is sick of this Pinocchio shit. So she throws it over the fence. And really, this scene should have been much more of a to-do, I feel like. But it really wasn't. I wasn't even sure how upset Zoe was by this incident. And they have a exchange of words, and the girl starts riding her bike home. The bully, not Zoe, riding her bike home. And this is what pisses me off about this. Like, the lack of movement. This is a perfect example because all they do is cut to Pinocchio's face, which is the same, obviously. It hasn't moved once. And then they cut to this girl riding her bike, and all they do, all that happens is, like, I don't even know, the handle of a rake pops out, or is it Pinocchio's nose? I don't know. It would have been cool if it were Pinocchio's nose. It would have been cool, but I'm like 90% sure Pinocchio just stuck a rake through the fucking fence.
Yeah, I wish it was his nose. I don't know now, but that did not cross my mind. That it was
well, there's no evidence.
Because why would it?
Yeah, There's no evidence
He's
that
not
it's
tell-
his nose because they didn't
He's not
do
telling a
any
lie, and
special
he hasn't moved yet. So.
He hasn't done shit. There's reason to believe he didn't even do the why would we even think he did the rake? There's nothing to lead us to believe that this toy is fucking alive. Anyway, so the girl hits the rake, or it goes through her spokes, and she goes flying off her bike, and then on top of it is hit by a fucking bus.
A school bus.
Run over by a fucking school bus.
And like the school bus screeches to a halt, and the driver runs out, and the teacher runs out, and like the kids swarm it. And this is what we were talking about before, because it's like, holy shit, like this is where you ramp it up and
Right,
kill
you
her like
fucking
that.
kill a kid. The first kill is
and-
a fucking kid.
By the way, the bus driver, what a great actor, because that guy was like devastated.
Dude, but also
Side of
he yells, is she okay? And in my head, I was like, of course she's not okay. You just fucking ran her over. She's fucking dead. Like, obviously that's what you think. And then the teacher's like, yeah, she's fine, and pulls her out.
He pulls her out from under.
And she's walking.
She's not even like dirtied.
Dude, Zoe had more damage from the push in the mud where she fell on her butt.
Yes.
And got a fat lip somehow.
Dude, and she had actually makeup on her face, where this person was thrown from a bike, which that alone would have fucked her face up. But then she was run over by a school bus.
This is the best. Maybe this is the best movie. Oh my God, is she okay? I was so mad about that line. I was like, dude, come on. Like, you ran over a child. Of course she's not okay. And she's alive. She's fucking alive. She's totally fine.
Barely
by the way,
even shaken up. She's not even crying.
she's not. And this isn't even the second person that Pinocchio doesn't kill. Well, I shouldn't say that. We'll get into the complicated nature of that kill, but oh boy. Anyway, this is when she, Jen, the mom, learns that the other lawyer didn't put it in her car, and it's just so convoluted. It's just such a convoluted way to get Pinocchio in the kid's hands, and it could have just been so much easier. Oh man! Even if the mom did it, we'd still be like, "Why would you give a kid a serial killer's doll?" But at least it's just like, here. Like, I don't.
Yeah, because you could write it off, being like, yeah, we don't need this evidence anymore.
Right.
You can dispose of it, and instead of like destroying it, she gave it to her.
Right.
Whereas her boyfriend finding it in her car and her not blinking an eye, she's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh man, we go back to the therapist who tells Jennifer that. Oh, by the way, this is the other weird part. So the therapist who's like, this girl's fucking crazy, is also in this scene tells the mom, you can't take, because the mom's like, I got to get rid of Pinocchio. Like, it's too much. He's like, oh, you can't get rid of that. What are you, insane? That'll ruin the girl. Fucking idiot.
And also, dude, it might be this very scene, but they watch her through cameras, like.
Oh, so that's
set
later,
up-
but yes, yes.
They watch her through cameras. She's literally arguing with herself for like 15 minutes on the camera.
Which is,
of course, you should take that doll away.
Oh my God, dude. So that scene, it's coming up. It's insane, though. I want to see when it is. It doesn't matter. That scene's insane because that's the first time Pinocchio's mouth moves. So in my head, originally, I'm like, oh, it's the old Garfield routine, right? Is Pinocchio talking to her? We don't know because the mouth's not moving, right?
Right.
Like classic Garfield. Like, does Garfield actually talk to fucking John? Who the fuck knows? So that's what I was thinking. But in that scene in the therapist's room that's on film, Pinocchio's fucking mouth moves. And I'm like, oh shit, they're going to see Pinocchio's real. And then we're going to finally get into the fucking meat and potatoes of this fucking movie. And then they review the security footage and Pinocchio is not moving or talking. So at that point, why even make his fucking mouth move? Oh, God damn it. It's not fucking Pinocchio. It's not. Anyway, back to the mom who is now interviewing another serial killer, which was weird because, you know, we haven't even figured out anything behind the first one yet. But why not? Why not add another fucking character to the fucking... Dude, every Kevin Tenney movie has had like 3 characters in it. Max. And for some reason in this one, he's added 37 characters. None of which do anything. So we meet this other serial killer. And he's important because he says, the box talked to me. And he's talking about the television.
Yeah.
Although this is a great scene too, because she takes a notepad and in gigantic letters writes, "Insanity defense?" ? Fucking of course insanity defense. Are you fucking kidding me? So the TV told him to murder people. And he's like, "I'm not fucking crazy. That the TV talked to me." And she's like, "Okay, a show told you that." And he's like, "No, you idiot. The TV talked to me." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Imagine having
writing
to write
insanity defense.
having to write that note down.
In case she forgets later.
Maybe. Don't want to forget this detail. This guy might be insane. Oh God. So we are an hour in, and Pinocchio, this is the first time we hear Pinocchio talk. An hour in is the first words Pinocchio speaks. And he is voiced by the guy that did Gumby's voice.
Yeah.
Who, fun fact, had this weird quote that I just found really alarming and weird. But he was like, he's one of those assholes that takes credit for shit that he probably shouldn't take credit for. And I don't know that to be true, but in the article, he's basically like, I was the first adult man or adult person that they had voice a child or like a childlike character with his voice. And he's like, yeah, they must have been so happy because they didn't have to call any of those nutbag lunatic mothers anymore. What? First of all, hey buddy, those are the people you're selling your fucking shows to.
Yeah.
So you might want to fucking take it easy. Anyway, so he does Pinocchio's voice, so good for him. R.I.P. Oh God. But the mouth doesn't move. And Pinocchio's basically just like, hey, I'll be a real boy, but we got to get rid of David. Which, why? Why does Pinocchio want revenge? And why does
did they ever explain like the more people he kills or something, the more he becomes real?
No. No.
Do they offer any logic behind this?
This is why I'm saying this might be the worst movie we've done, because at least anything else, dude, even Peter Rottentail followed a story, right? I feel like there might have been a beginning, middle, and end of that. Or Peter Rottentail showed up for some reason to do something. But in this, it's called Pinocchio's Revenge. And this is dude, why, if you wanted to make this movie, why wouldn't you have just made the woman, the lawyer, the other lawyer? I don't know, the opposition lawyer? I don't know. Not the defense attorney.
The prosecutor?
Prosecutor. Why wouldn't she have been the prosecutor that killed this guy? And then Pinocchio's getting revenge, right?
Right.
I guess, because it's his dad or something. I don't know. But instead, this woman was like, we have to defend you. And he was like, please let me die.
I honestly took umbrage.
Way to make this make no sense.
I honestly took umbrage too with them naming him Vincent Gatto and not like Joe Petto.
Joe,
like,
dude, 100%, dude. It's 95. Why is that? Do a wordplay. It was acceptable. I even tried to I sat there for a minute. I paused the movie and I was like, all right, Vincent Gatto. I was like, is that? I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't come up.
I hope it is, and somebody's mad about it. But
Gatto is cat in Spanish.
But yeah, but isn't that like Gato? Because he spelled it Gotto.
Oh, really? I didn't even catch that. So it doesn't fucking... Dude, Joe, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but a cat has nothing to do with Pinocchio.
Oh God. Anyway, anyway, well, that's it. So Pinocchio wants to kill David, and we don't know why, but I think what Pinocchio says is basically your mom will spend more time with us, which I don't know why is that a thing. And even if she was defending the little girl, that would have been one thing too, right? Like he attacked the bully. I could see it being like, I love you, Zoe, so I'm going to protect you. But David hasn't done anything wrong. He's a fucking
David's like the best boyfriend of a mother in any movie we've ever watched.
100%. They're always pieces of shit, and David's just like, oh, you rascal.
Yeah.
Even when she interrupts the sex time, like usually that's when the stepdad's like, hey, you idiot, go to bed. Instead, he was like, oh, let me tell you a story about Pinocchio.
By the way, we didn't mention it when she interrupts the sex time. She holds up the doll and it's very clearly her, standing there. He's like, whoa, and like zooms in, like, falling out.
Oh God. Zoe, I have a note here. I don't even want to take notes. I keep thinking something's going to happen, but nothing fucking does. Zoe wakes up and hears Pinocchio's footsteps. So she goes chasing, wakes up David, which again, David's super nice. David's chill. David's like, hey, Zoe, it's time for bed. Good night, sweetheart. And that's it. And then for some reason, David goes to the basement for nothing. He isn't even like, oh shit, I forgot this in the basement. He's just going to the basement and it's looking at old fans and broken shit. And it'll cut to his face and he'll be like, yeah, I remember that. Just take an inventory, the nightly inventory of the basement.
That's a great point. Kevin's so lazy. He doesn't give any motivation or
there's no reason for him to be
anywhere.
And again, all he would have to do is like hear a noise in the basement and open the door, because what happens next is he goes up the stairs and Pinocchio pushes him back down the stairs. Oh my God. Yeah, that's it. And the mom goes to the hospital. And Vincente's the cop there. Or no, she goes to the police station where the daughter is. And Vincente's the cop there. And she says, Zoe called 911 because David had fallen down the stairs. And this is where Zoe talks to Pinocchio. And it's just clearly a guy sitting under the puppet rotating it. And Zoe's like, did you do that to David? And he's like, no. And she's like, did you do that to David? And he's like, no. And then
that's when his nose grows, but it's just a shadow. And he's like, you're lying.
Well, it's just a fucking like light that they move to make them like the entire head bigger. And then they cut to his face and nothing has changed. And she's like, you lying piece of shit, puppet. By the way, the other weird part about this is the girl at this point is kind of not a fan of Pinocchio. Right.
No.
And it accelerates. As the movie keeps going, she gets more frightened of him. And it's like, dude, you're the worst. But then at the end, the mom's like, I'm taking Pinocchio. She's like, you piece of shit, I hate you.
She literally is screaming, I hate you, over and over and over again.
It makes no fucking sense.
Even when the bully got hit by the bus, she was like, was that you? Like, oh my God.
Well, yeah. Pinocchio, I thought at this point, I thought Pinocchio might not be in the movie originally, but at this point, I just don't think there's going to be any revenge had in this fucking movie. Because we also learned David's not fucking dead.
Yeah.
Pinocchio pushed him down the stairs and he lived. So Pinocchio fucking sucks. And we finally go to the therapy session where Pinocchio's mouth moves and he talks. And I was so pumped. We're over halfway through the movie.
We're over halfway through. Yeah.
Yeah. So even then, he could have turned this around a little bit. if he made the last 30 minutes just an insane slasher, I was okay with it. Maybe, sort of.
I completely agree. If you up the ante here, whatever. It was a slow
if he
burn.
starts moving and talking, dude, I'm in. And Pinocchio's mouth starts moving, and I'm like, finally, fucking, okay, let's do this. It doesn't move again after this scene. Yeah, it's fucking great. And this is the scene where they're at the therapy session, and she's just yelling at Pinocchio, and he's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. But Pinocchio tells her, I can fix this, but you're the blue fairy and you need to cut these fucking strings, which, so again, if she cut the strings, what difference would that make? He's already trying to kill people.
Right.
And walking around by himself. What does cutting the strings do different?
I wasn't even aware he had strings.
Dude, I wasn't either.
Also, Zoe's a smart girl, like for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, if you set me free and cut these strings, I'll just go to the hospital and tell David it was my fault. She's like, oh, okay.
Dude, she goes, promise to be good. Like, dude, his entire life he has not been. Why would you even ask that? And then as soon as she cuts it, he starts screaming, I'm free! I'm free! Pinocchio and Zoe are on the loose. They're running down the street, but Pinocchio loses her and ends up walking to the hospital, walking through the hospital, and then pulls the
And we
power.
see it in his POV, too.
All in his POV. All in his POV. And David's there on life support, which seems a bit dramatic for falling down the stairs and not dying. But whatever. Pinocchio pulls one power plug, and we're supposed to believe this is all fucking... David was a vegetable surviving on this fucking plug. And also,
isn't David very much aware of what's happening?
Yeah, David's aware, but those monitors are there because people come and check on them when they start going on the fritz. So, are you fucking kidding me?
You can't just unplug it and he dies.
Yeah, no one's the wiser. Fucking 1996. It's not the Stone Age. Anyway, that's how David dies. So that's our first death. So it's not even good. It's not like a horror movie death.
Agreed. It's certainly not a slasher death.
No.
A slasher film. Slasher film with Jason just going in the hospitals, just unplugging people's life support.
Just humanely killing people.
Yeah.
Euthanizing people.
Euthanizing everybody, yeah. I kind of want to watch that.
Shit, I'm all on board with that. Do that 2020, Jason. Oh my god. Dr. Kevorkian inhabits his body. He's just trying to help the elderly. Well, so David's dead, and David's mom calls Jennifer and is like, he's dead. And that's it. Then we cut to her at the therapist office. This movie jumps around, dude. This movie moves, but in the slowest way possible. The therapist shows the video that, Pinocchio talked and his mouth moved. But his mouth does not move in the video, and he doesn't speak. And basically the therapist is like, we need to commit Zoe because she's fucking lost it. Which, quite honestly...
He's right. Yeah.
He's right. He's 100% fucking right.
Yeah, because the mom at this point knows that Zoe left the house the night that he died too.
Right. Zoe knows he left the house and he died. She knows she was involved somehow with the kid getting run over. Because it was the bully. And so she asks Zoe, she's like, were you out last night? And she's like, yeah. But then she starts crying and she's like, oh, mom, he went to the hospital. I did not. And the mom's like, oh, okay, dude, lock her up. Lock her the fuck up.
Agreed.
And again, the daughter at this point is done with Pinocchio. She's done. She's like, I can't believe he did that. He ran away. He's acting crazy. And then we go to the headiest conversation of the movie, which is the mom and the priest talking about demons, and pretty sure Son of Sam. comparing Son of Sam to this.
Yeah, because he hears the dog. Yeah.
It is this conversation of, again, basically the entrapment, the demonic entrapment or fucking whatever. And they're talking about, you know, does the priest believe in demons, and can demons take the form of dogs? And the priest is like, don't be fucking ridiculous. I believe in demons, but a demon dog? What are you, an idiot? And then the lady's just like, you know, she's like, well, why can't they take the form of demons or TVs? So that whole scene with the serial killer is only in this to add to this scene. So she's like, what about demons, or what about dogs and TVs and puppets? And the priest is just like, I don't know, lady. I don't know what to tell you. Fuck if I know. So, I guess we're supposed to, you know, think a little deeper on this, and, you know, maybe these people do hear demons, and maybe demons do exist in inanimate objects or animals, right?
Sure. There's no way Kevin thought of that.
Joe, I think that's what he's thinking, Joe. It's just like all these
He's just trying to
movies.
Kill time. Because what didn't we do another one of his movies where we were like, he clearly shot this after the fact when the studio was like, listen,
yes.
you need like 30 more minutes.
Yes. It's also revealed, because Zoe talks to her babysitter, and she's like, Pinocchio's doing bad things. And the babysitter's like, no, you gave him a cricket, so it's fine. And Zoe's like, oh my God, the cricket. And then runs into her room. Joe, this scene is so fucking dumb. It's unbelievable. And Pinocchio killed...
Cricket was murdered.
Dude, the cricket was smushed.
And she's like screaming like she found her mom there.
Joe, it's supposed to be a fucking reveal. We're supposed to be like, oh my God, Pinocchio doesn't have a conscience. As if a grasshopper was the actual conscience. Oh my God, it's fucking unbelievable. Oh God. And then Sophia takes a poker to the head. This is like the first horror movie kill where Pinocchio just fucking bashes her brains in with a fire poker.
Yes.
Although it is weird because we see I believe female human hands swinging the poker in the bottom of the screen.
It snorted so loud. Yes.
This is the end of the movie, guys. This is it. This is the climax. This is the last 15 minutes right now. So, hope you enjoyed this.
Which, nothing's happened. In the last 15 minutes, some things happen, but the ending is still so abrupt where I was, to the point where I was like, wait, what? It was such like a wild ride of emotions because it started to pick up a little bit, and then I was like, like how much more is left in this? Because I thought they're gonna, it like dipped back down again.
Yeah.
And I thought they're gonna like ramp you back up for a huge reveal or something, and then it just ends. Like, what?
Dude, it's fucking unbelievable. So the mom comes home. It's of course a dark and stormy night because it has to be. And she turns on the lights. She's walking around the house in the dark. The power's not out. She turns on the lights, and then the vacuum cleaner turns on at the same time, and she's like, oh my God, and turns the lights back on. Which I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. She could have easily just turned on the fucking lights. She goes to grab a knife, which would make sense, right? She's a little bit concerned about what's happening.
Yep.
And then she puts it back and goes, what am I doing? Mom finds the babysitter. She's dead. And then she sees Zoe creepily standing at the hall, who does no favors for herself by just running away screaming. And the mom's like, Zoe! Of course the mom thinks it's you. Then the mom goes looking for Zoe in their normal-sized house, but can't find her, and looks under the couch. Have you ever owned a couch a child could fit under?
No, I have not.
Dude, she looks under a fucking couch. There's maybe an inch or two of space under a fucking couch. A poker hits mom in the head, and we see Zoe holding it. But she's like, I didn't do it. Pinocchio did it. I grabbed it from him, and then he ran away. We gotta run before he gets back.
Right.
Before he gets back, you guys are in the house with him. And also, the Pinocchio is right next to the mom, because Zoe runs away, and Pinocchio's just there, sitting there. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but Pinocchio finally kind of moves because Kevin Tenney throws Pinocchio on the mom's back, and the mom holds on to Pinocchio. Oh no, wait, that doesn't happen here. The Pinocchio first chases the mom into a room, and the mom locks herself in. And Pinocchio is...
Kevin finally watched The Shining.
1996, he's like, oh my god, I've got this great idea. I just saw this movie. Have you ever seen The Shining? This great fucking scene.
Because he shoves the knife right through the door.
Joe, first of all, Pinocchio is sticking a kitchen knife through a fucking door. Like...
It also goes through the mom's hand, who is relatively unfazed by it.
It does. It goes... Imagine a puppet blindly... First of all, the puppet can't stand. The puppet is, 2 feet tall max. All she would really have to do is stand up and hold the door closed. But she does not. She, she's like laying on the ground, just putting her hands up on the door. And the knife goes through it. Eventually, she leaves the room for some reason, and Pinocchio jumps on her with the knife. I don't even know how she gets away, but she kind of does. And she grabs Pinocchio off her back and throws him through a glass table. And I'm thinking, this isn't even close to the end, right? I'm thinking, this is just the start of this fight. Right? She threw a wooden puppet through a table. So who gives a shit?
Right.
But then we see Pinocchio turns into the daughter.
Yes.
And she faints. We fast forward to the future and them locking Zoe up and her mom being like, this is bullshit. I'm gonna get her free no matter what. Weird defense to have. And the shrink is like, you're nuts. And the mom goes, I'm going to get my daughter out of here no matter how long it takes.
Dude, this is why he's Loomis, because she's like, I'm not giving up till Zoe comes home. And the guy's like, I hope not, for your sake. I hope not.
Dude, it's so fucking dramatic. Dude, this guy took this role. I hope not, for your sake. I hope not. And then he just fucking leaves the room. And that is the end of the movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought there would be more. Because right when this was happening, I was like, God, how much fucking longer do I have to sit through this shit? And then the credits start rolling. I'm like, wait, what? That's how it ends?
Absolutely nothing is explained in this movie. Absolutely fucking
why did
nothing.
Pinocchio turn into her? Was there even ever a Pinocchio? There was, because you can't even say that, because the doctor watched the video with Pinocchio.
Pinocchio existed, and that's why so at the beginning, that's why I was saying, if the guy buried Pinocchio, right, like that woman killed Pinocchio, and then they unburied it, and it was a kid, like the Pinocchio turned into the kid at the end, we've got a fucking movie on our hands.
Right.
We've got some type of coherent story. But that's not what happened. They unbury the kid and unbury Pinocchio. Right. And like you're saying, Pinocchio does exist. Pinocchio is there. God damn it. So even if they did it the opposite way, that would probably make more sense, right? You kill your kid and then it turns into Pinocchio or something. I don't know. There's some way to make this work, but this wasn't it. Oh, fuck, man. That's Pinocchio. That's Pinocchio's revenge. That was bad, man. That was really fucking bad.
What a fitting way to end Kevin Tenney Fest.
Man, it got worse and worse, everyone. And you know what's funny? Well, actually, it's not true, because I think we started with Witch Trap.
We did.
Which probably wasn't his worst one, but I think it was his second or third one.
We only did 4, so,
I mean, regardless, they're not. None of them are great.
It was just third less worst one.
Third less worst. None of them were great, and that this is his life's work. So, congratulations, Kevin Tenney. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about how the guy that, like, I have a strong feeling that much like Pinocchio or Peter Rottentail, we will be written about on a blog somewhere by Mr. Kevin S. Tenney himself.
Oh man, dude, I think he might be a little above that.
Are you sure, Joe? Are you fucking sure?
He's worked with like people, where Peter Rottentail have not. You know what I mean? Because that guy's review was like, I've waited my whole life to be in Fangoria, and then I finally found new work. It just completely decimated my work.
I forgot about that. Okay, you're right. You're right. That guy was like... We were on the Fangoria network at the time, and he's like, always wanted to be mentioned by somebody in Fangoria, but this movie took my work and this podcast took my work and fucking shit all over it. Yeah. So I guess I could die happy, maybe.
Yeah, so I don't think Mr. Tenney will be doing that. Dude, if I was Mr. Tenney, I'd be fucking thrilled. People two assholes just watched 4 of my movies back to back in 2020.
Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. So Kevin Tenney did a Brain Dead in 2007. What do you think that's about? He did Brain Dead.
It's called Brain Dead?
Yeah.
Dude, Kevin Tenney loves fucking horror movies and then just making them his own. I'm gonna do Brain Dead.
Wait, here's the synopsis. An alien infection creates a horrific horde of brain-munching zombies shuffling to the door of a deserted fishing lodge, where terrified and often naked victims... Oh, wait.
Putting that in your description.
Dude, putting that in your description is like, well, we'll corner the 14-year-old market.
Yeah. Why would they be often naked in a fishing lodge?
If you think about a real fishing lodge and all of those people naked, it would just be a bunch of disgusting, dirty
fat guys with white beards.
White beards and like dirty fingers from like fucking digging through fucking worms. Fucking butt ass naked walking around. Yeah, you know what? I'd fucking watch it. That's a fucking weird ass movie.
That's exactly what it would be like. Like Willem Dafoe's character in The Lighthouse.
Dude, I still haven't seen that. Did you like it?
I did. I don't usually like movies like that, but I mean, nothing happens. They just yell at each other for an hour and a half. I don't know why I liked it.
Oh man, so that's it for this week. I saw some people being like, "Oh, I love the new long format," and I was like, "Oh no, that's just because we wanted to talk." Like that's gonna change.
It is, dude. It's so weird because I've noticed that. I don't know how to like explain it. Like, I think we took a break at the right time because at the end our episodes were like 50 minutes. It's like, Jesus, this is fucking forever. But like now it's like an hour and 45 minutes and it doesn't feel like a thing at all.
I agree. And we were like just knocking podcasts that were like 2 hours long. We were like, what do you have to say in that fucking time? And they're covering like 4 movies. We're covering Pinocchio's Revenge. It takes us an hour and a half. Oh god. Anyway, we got better stories though, you know. That's gotta count for something, right?
Sure.
All right, so next week we're doing what are we doing? Thrashing?
Fucking thrash. Yeah.
Thrashing. Okay, so here's the thing I forgot about too. So I'm excited. So we have September, right? We come out on Tuesdays. So we could do Thrashing, and then what's the other one we're doing? Oh, what's somebody
Fast Forward.
Somebody messaged me and was like, Fast Forward's the best.
I'm a little nervous about that one. I'm a little nervous about that one only because I don't know how much plot there will be.
Well, that's what I messaged you about.
Dancing.
That's what I messaged you about. I was like, can you ask Tina if there's a fucking plot, or are they just...
Which I did. And she's like, yeah, of course. Which is,
it's very subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, people told us to do Cats, and I watched it, and I was like, Joe, there's nothing to fucking talk about. There's no fucking plot. But some people are like, there's a fucking story. The Jangles. There's the Bojangles. Or no, not Bojangles. The Jameckles, or whatever the fuck they're called. I gotta look up what they're called. But yeah, no, I think we'll be fine with Fast Forward. I do think there will be a lot of dancing, but I think we can talk about it.
Well, I think it's 80s enough where it should just be stupid. Like, give us enough stupidity to talk about. Whereas if it came out today, it'd be very difficult.
Yeah, they're jellicles in Cats. The jellicles.
Okay.
What does that mean, Joe? I don't know. I watched the fucking movie. I have no idea what a fucking jellicle.
Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah.
So, all right. So we're gonna do Thrashing and we're gonna do Fast Forward. It's our little 80s hobby sport double feature for the next 2 weeks. I'm excited about both. I do think they'll both be fine. If we watch Fast Forward and it's like not, I'll try and watch Fast Forward earlier. And if it's not okay,
we'll audible. Yeah.
We'll audible. But October, we should do some pretty fun shit. I'm kind of excited about October. I think last October, I don't think I watched a single scary movie. And
really?
I think I was just like so burned out on the show. And I was just like, I don't want to watch anything. Like, I don't think I fucking watched anything. And now I'm much more on board to the point where I was like, even like, fuck, I don't even know. Like, I do want to do cult movies, but I was like, fuck, there's so many horror movies I do want to watch now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Now that we've revitalized the show, it feels a lot better. Like, it feels healthy, and I want to watch them. But somebody mentioned we always do Disney for Halloween.
Dude, somebody messaged me today and was like, your Disney episodes are like my favorite shit ever. And then they asked if you'd ever consider doing Goosebumps episodes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, maybe we do that for the Patreon. We've been talking about doing kind of like short form TV shows for the Patreon.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
And but we do that. We'll do whatever we want to watch, honestly, because that's the only way we're going to be entertained by doing it. But because we tried to do it with some fucking show. What was it called? The Night Stalker?
Oh, Night Stalker. Yeah.
Bro. Somebody pitched it to us. It sounded like a great idea, and it wasn't. It was not a great idea. But I feel like if we do like some shit we want to watch, like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark even, like I'm down with that. Like we can watch those, bang those out, do a quick episode and put it up on Patreon for everyone. And speaking of Patreon, it will be up. I'm going to have it up tonight. Hopefully it's Sunday night. If not, definitely Monday. We've got some new bonuses, some new features, some new everything. We're going to test it out, see how it goes with the current setup. And we might make some adjustments down the line, but we'll see. I think we said that last time and we made 0 changes to our Patreon last time. But I think it'll be good. Patreon's changed a lot since we last had it. So it's crazy. So that'll be cool. And that's it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about, man. I'm excited for the question.
What Disney movie would you want to do for Halloween?
Dude. So you do. I don't know if you've checked on Plex, but I have literally all of them.
Nice.
I have absolutely every one of them, but I think they're under family movies on our Plex. Okay. I'll have to double check. Oh no, they're under our Halloween movies. My bad. That's why we don't see them. If you go under Halloween movies, every single one from the beginning of Disney movies till now, technically their Halloween movies are on there. So that's cool.
Did you have any that stuck out to you?
Here, let's look at them right now, man. All right, so a Disney Halloween, which I'm pretty sure is just like people dancing. Bride of Boogity, we did. Oh wait, no, we didn't do Bride of Boogity, did we?
Yeah, we did. We did both.
We did.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I literally have no recollection of what happens in Bride of Boogity, and the name is very self-explanatory.
yeah. Mr. Boogity comes back. This bride's there too.
Don't Look Under the Bed, which was 99.
That was going to be my suggestion.
Was it? We got some Halloween towns too, brother. There's like 13 Halloween towns.
There's only 4. Yeah. Did we do the first one?
We didn't do any of the Halloween towns.
We haven't done Halloween Town?
I don't think so.
Dude, the first one's a fucking classic. The skeleton taxi driver.
Dude, wait, did we do it? I don't know. Dude, this is so it's crazy. I feel shitty for I almost feel shitty for not knowing our own stuff.
Yeah, man.
But like at the same time. No, I don't think we did Halloween Town. It's not showing up on our list.
Because we did the Boogies, and then we did the Phantom of the Megaplex with Mickey Rooney.
We definitely did Phantom
around.
of the Megaplex. Yeah. And I think the first year we didn't, because I think the first year we started in October.
No, we did Under Wraps.
Oh fuck, we did Under Wraps. So that's 4, and we did it for like 5 years. So that kind of makes sense. We might have skipped one at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Under Wraps.
Dude, Mickey Rooney singing "Take Me to Hollywood." One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Let's see. That's it. Oh, the Scream Team. And that's kind of it for the classics,
Let's do "Don't Look Under the Bed."
Don't Look Under the Bed. So we'll eventually run out of Disney Halloween, but we've got some other Halloween classics on here. We should just...
There's a Nickelodeon one that got removed for being too scary, which I'm sure it's just a piece of shit. But it was removed when it aired in the 90s for being...
Really? It was a movie? Oh,
it was a TV movie.
Dude, wait, hang on. It's the first fucking thing. Nickelodeon Halloween movie band. Crybaby Lane. Dude.
That's it.
People asked us to do this.
We should do it then.
We should. This year or not? Do both?
Yeah. How long is Crybaby Lane?
They're going to say how long is Halloween. No, I mean, we could do it one week and then the other week. Because I really do want to watch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's only like a 30-minute thing. It's 70 minutes.
Oh, they
we can do it
they re-aired it in 2011 on Teen Nick at 2 a.m. Wow, it must be like really fucking...
Dude, Sean, there's no way. It's going to be so shitty.
The movie features an early career performance by Jim Gaffigan. Already, I'm like, okay, this isn't fucking scary.
It's got Frank
Jim
Langella.
Gaffigan takes me out of everything. Fucking idiot. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll talk about it. We can talk about it. And one of the Patreon bonuses is voting, so maybe we'll do that. Let people vote on what we want to do for Halloween. So,
yeah.
But I do want to do Scream Team. I've heard that's good. Oh, dude, we have all the Halloween towns, which is like pretty exciting. Because I watched the first one with James, and I was like, this is fucking not a bad movie.
Dude, you gave me so much shit for watching it each year. I mean, granted, I'm a 35-year-old man.
Well, also, like, I was being sold, like, Disney movies, and I was like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. But, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a fun movie.
That's good. And the second one with the Revenge?
Adult people like Hocus Pocus and shit. It's like the same... It's literally the same quality as Hocus Pocus.
It's way better than Hocus Pocus.
I agree with you there, but in terms of production quality, it's the same quality. It's a good fucking movie. Yeah. Somebody also, I got a lot of like recommendations for movies to do, which is par for the course. But somebody said Wishmaster 4. And I was like, no, we never did that. But I don't know if I really care to do that because it's fucking Wishmaster. And the guy was like, well, the story is Wishmaster falls in love. And I was like, honestly, dude, I want to do that so badly now. That sounds so fucking stupid. I laughed so fucking hard.
He falls in love?
Wishmaster falls in love, and that's the whole plot of the movie. Never heard anything so dumb in my life. He's like the fucking devil.
Right, he's a Jin. They're why would you fall in love?
All right, so that's it, guys. So Patreon, I believe, I honestly, God damn it. The Patreon page is something. So the Patreon should be up. It is at I Hate Horror. Snapchat and Twitter at I Hate Horror Show, and Instagram at I Hate Horror. Joe, do you want to shout out your name, or are you private now?
You can find me on Instagram at Boognish1985.
He might let you watch, he might not.
Wait, what are we doing?
I said he might let you in, he might let you not. Like your private account.
I thought you said watch. I was like, wait, what? I forgot what I was plugging.
I did say watch, but
follow me at Boognish1985.
What's your OnlyFans? Do you want to plug your OnlyFans?
I do not. Got some weird requests when I put that.
Yeah, Joe made a joke about
story.
OnlyFans, and people were like, "Let Sean show his gaping asshole." It's like so mad. Why would somebody want to see that?
Well, I'm not gonna say who it was.
All right,
he knows who it was.
He knows who it was. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you all so much for the support. The emails are crazy. I'm still fucking backlogged like crazy on the messages on Instagram and email. It's fucking nuts. How many of you wanted the show to be back, and I really appreciate it. So I'm trying to get back to everyone. It's crazy, dude. You said you were getting tons of messages too.
Yeah.
Man, it's nuts. I really appreciate it. But that's it. So for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.